We're at a crucial point in our history as humans. And young people drive change. Young people are the engines of change. They fuel new thinking. They fuel new solutions to old problems. But right now we're failing them.
The statistics on the number of deaths from knife crime are stark. 548 people were murdered using a knife or bladed object in 2020. And if that wasn't shocking enough, an even more staggering fact is that the number of teenagers murdered with a knife in London is on the rise.
Young people talked about a system that was failing. They talked about not having the care and the support that they needed.
That's what's been happening quite often across this globe of ours. We've marginalised, criminalised, disenfranchised huge parts of our population, the young.
We've spent the last 5 years speaking with inspirational youth workers, legendary youth workers who have shared their best practice, what they do to be able to engage with and support and nurture the young people that they're serving.
The struggles that young people go through are so vast. We live in East London, and my experience of youth work is London, very London-based. You would not believe if I told you how much trauma, real like severe trauma, abuse, neglect, you know, these real traumatic situations that young people have gone through. And on the skin of it, people will be like, oh, it must be knife crime. It must be young people hurting each other. It must be drug dealing. It must be prison. Absolutely not. That's what the media might show you. But the real things that young people are going through, we have people from as young as 10 and 11 years old coming here, and all the way up to 25 years old. There are people that are really suffering out here, and it's from things that are generational, historical in their families, and things that they have been through since they were born, and things that they still have not processed and dealt with now. And yeah, trauma and abuse are top of that list.
I like to think I have a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. I feel like I've had quite a lot of bad cards dealt in my 22 years of life. Just to give you a quick synopsis, I lost my dad when I was 2. My brother and Nico passed 6 months apart from each other. I've lost my nan, my granddad, my brother's firstborn daughter, my cousins, countless people. So I feel like even though I'm a confident person and I try to do right, but I have a lot of anger in my heart. Like even my hands, you can see that happened after my big brother died. I had over 32 stitches in my hands. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the baggage, the luggage I want to leave is that anger and that aggression and that animosity that I just generally feel. And I want to be able to leave this experience with a clearer understanding on how I can control my emotions and how I can always be a benefit to everyone else rather than allowing my pain to take over me in all situations, basically. That's it. She checked it out the way.
Youth work is, sadly I think, over the last decade, not only has money been taken out of youth work, but we've also seen a deprofessionalisation of the service from national government.
We've eroded dramatically in England the youth service and youth offer that we've got for young people, particularly at the professional end. And what we've done is our local authorities have cut their youth services down, and they've asked the voluntary sector to step in and to operate more positive activities, more leisure-based provision, typically, not always, but typically for young people. And so we've eroded and lost the capacity to meet the needs of young people like we'd used to do.
It's something that the Mayor of London has been very keen to try and reverse, and we've seen lots of money going into the Violence Reduction Unit, as well as schemes such as mentoring for young people. And they have impact because very often those young people feel very untrusted and alienated from society, and it's that special relationship with somebody who's got their interest at heart and at the forefront of their work that makes a critical difference in those young persons' chances, and that's very often delivered in my experience and what I've seen by youth workers.
Keeping young people safe should be one of the most important things that we prioritise as adults. To be effective at supporting people, having sustainable funding is one of the key things that you need. We need to be making sure that we're testing and we're proving the worth of those really rich interventions, and then we can do more of it with more confidence. Sadly, there isn't unlimited funding, and sadly a lot of the priorities just haven't been there for public services, but I think a well-funded programme can be the difference between life and death in a young person's life.
Many people view youth work as an expense rather than as an investment. And as we know from the financial markets, if you don't invest, you can't get the benefits later on. We need to invest in our young, both financially and emotionally, spiritually. We know that youth work provides huge savings for our society. Currently every pound of youth work that's spent on youth work saves us £3. That's a report I've seen recently. Nurturing children and young people while they're children and young people makes them grow up to become happier, healthier, far cheaper citizens. That can't happen solely through schools and medical and sort of punitive approaches. People need to be nurtured.
I suppose from our perspective at London Youth, there's a phrase we say when we're thinking of youth work: somewhere to go, something to do, someone to trust. Those are three really key elements. At the core of that as well is the relationship that a young person develops and builds. And youth work is about relationship. And that is what is at the core of good youth work, being able to build that trusted relationship so that when that young person's in crisis, or whether they've got something brilliant that they want to share with somebody, they will look for that trusted adult in their life to go to. And that is really what I would say is at the heart of good youth work.
Yeah, so XLP, we were in historic communities for a long period of time. We're talking about 27 years or more. We used a model we call the hub model. And it's a kind of wraparound model. So it's like we're in the local estate, we're in the local school, and we might be in a local community partnership or a church. And that young person will see us sort of every week in those 3 different areas. And then I'll be like, oh, you're using my school. Oh, you're on the bus now. On my estate. Okay, you're in my local community centre. So it gives that level of I'm seen, I'm heard. That community approach gets young people to open up. But we work for long-term relationships. So it's not unusual for XLP to have somebody who's a young person, who's an apprentice, who's a youth worker, who's a youth work manager, going through right through the whole system, because it's about community.
We are a music mentoring program. People might be fooled into thinking that we're just a music studio. We're not. This music studio does not run commercially at all. This music studio was donated to the community for the young people, for the community, and that's the only people that are allowed to step through this door to make music. But mainly we're here to mentor people. So the music itself and the studio is like the magnet that draws them in. So yes, young people want to go to a studio. This just happens to be a state-of-the-art studio. It allows us to build trusting relationships and authentic relationships with them, which allows us then to be able to find out how we can support them and how our other departments in Community Links in Catch-22 can support their families, ensuring that, again, everyone in the community gets the support that they need.
So the kind of challenges that we're facing sadly aren't particular to the UK. These are global challenges, international challenges. And over the previous years, we have had the privilege, the honour of being able to travel across Africa, across Asia, Caribbean, throughout Europe, to meet practitioners, to meet youth workers, and to meet their young people and their wider communities, to get the benefit of their experience.
What's happening in Punjab is there are all kinds of economic models which benefit from young people not being able to be themselves, rather getting caught up in drugs and all kinds of substances. So overall, it's a very unhealthy environment. And if you're a young person in Punjab right now, I can really empathize, because it's only worsened in the last decade. Yeah. We started Sanji Sikhya 5 years ago. Sanji Sikhya literally in English means collective learning. It's a firm belief in the idea of how learning happens. We say learning happens with each other, from each other, in company of each other.
We have this 2-year-long youth leadership program where bright young people from different parts of Punjab come together. They are deployed in the public schools in rural Punjab. They go out there, work with the teachers, work with the communities to ensure and to make them all realize that it takes a village. No social change can happen alone. That's why there's a lot of focus on working together, working with each other, collaborating. The vision for Sanji Sikhya is to transform Punjab into a land of hope, courage and possibilities. That action and that belief of a bright future starts from our young people.
मैं बचपन तो ही चाहती सी कि मैं समाज ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਐਵੇਂ ਦਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣਾ ਜੋ ਬਾਕੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀਗਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਹਰੇਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਉਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ ਫੀਲਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੈਨੇਜਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਤੋਂ ਪਰ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਰਫਾਰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਜੁੜਨਾ
Youth work to me is very fundamental. It is preparing the young people to be the leaders of our present times. It's not for future, it's not for anything else, but for young people to learn to be able to stand up and create a life based on the values that they choose for themselves.
In India, the youth work, while in the last few years it has it has definitely increased, I wouldn't say. I think we are really progressing well in terms of youth work, but there is definitely more scope. There is so much more scope to work with young people. There are some organizations doing amazing work where they are mentoring young people. These young people are in turn becoming leaders or in turn becoming mentors to other adolescents. So I think year by year, we've seen an amazing growth in youth work. There's still a long journey ahead, but we've also come a long way.
Young people need to be at the center, and young people need to be at the front, actually, front and center of everything. In order to make that happen, we need to legitimize, strengthen, and expand the youth work sector in India. You know, we're the youngest country at this point. We have this very, very large youth population. And if we really want that population to turn into a multiplier that changes the world, which is something we critically need at this point, we need youth workers investing in them.
If we do not invest in youth work, the young people end up becoming what we call junkies in our country. But if we focus on youth work, we are empowering them and we're empowering the future. Because if we do not invest in youth work, it means that young people will not have information, they'll not know what their talents are, they'll not be fully empowered. But we invest in them, they'll be empowered, and we can reduce on the unemployed young people that we have. So the commission of the hub is to identify different talent. So the people who do not really know what their talent is, but we identify the talent, we build it, we groom it, and we expose it for the people to see. So for example, if you're into theater, we get to have different shows, different events. By doing so, they're being exposed and they're also gaining something.
God forgive you, man. Why does this woman say? Mommy. Yeah. She can talk. Mommy. Yes, mommy, yes. Mommy. 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 Look. Mommy. Marita. If anything happened to my mother, Marita.
So young people are the future. They are the ones who take up these different roles. They're the ones who become ministers, who end up becoming presidents. So young people are supposed to be empowered now. That is why youth work comes in, because it is through youth work that these young people realize their goals, their dreams, and they will have a proper vision to build Zambia.
So I believe my generation can contribute to the future of Zambia, not only Zambia but the world. For I have seen the mind that most of them are having. So you find that if you have one-to-one conversations and no use on a personal level, many of them are always thinking about what is next, what are they going to do next. So they're very innovative. So I know for the fact that Zambia and the country at large is in safe hands because we're having innovative youths that are doing so many things, not for the benefit of themselves, but are also thinking about other people. The leader that is going to be there tomorrow is not that leader. It's the child that has been birthed today. So if you nurture that child in the right direction, you find that that child will grow up in the right way, doing the right things at the right time. Yes.
They say we youths, we are the leaders of tomorrow, but I disagree to that because I'm a leader of today. We young people usually make a lot of mistakes, and if we have no one to support us, to nurture us, to mentor us, definitely we are not going to achieve our goals. But if we have people who can mentor us, support us, nurture us, definitely we are going to go to the right path.
If you nurture a child properly today, you don't expect that particular child to go astray. So it is important that these children are nurtured so that they become very good and effective citizens in future.
Often when we think about the problems and the challenges that young people are facing in our communities, we've started to believe that these are new challenges. And what we've found by traveling the world, there is a similarity between the problems in a village in northern India, in Zambia and in East London. This common central challenge is around the nurturing of our young, is around having a system or a process where elders in the community can transfer the wisdom of the village to the young. How those challenges manifest may be different, but they're very centered around city life, urban life, living in individual houses, not many communal spaces, separated. In the transition from a village to a city, we've become increasingly disconnected. Disconnected from nature, disconnected from our community. Disconnected from our ancestral wisdom. We may have lost something which was very important in the nurturing of our young people. I believe that every community, but definitely this community and the community we live in, are judged by how well we facilitate meaningful, powerful and potentially transformative conversations with their young. More important than the GDP, more important than the economy, more important than the football. Oh, controversial. More important than the defence, more important than the election. It's the most important thing, isn't it? Because without these, faces, we got nothing. We got nothing.
It takes a village to raise a child. Most people have heard that phrase, and a lot of people haven't heard the full phrase, which is it takes a village to raise a child. And if that child is not initiated fully into the heart of that village, it may burn it down just to feel a little warmth. So I was born in Zambia many, many years ago. I was born in Lusaka, and we lived in a small village called Namwala. And for me, those formative years have been so important for me. I was born into a village that lived Ubuntu. Ubuntu is an African philosophy that roughly translates as I am because we are, and because we are, I am. I can't live without you, you can't live without me. We need each other, we're communal. And that whole process of bringing everybody into the heart of the village, the young people, the elderly, whoever, we bring them into the heart of the village. We bring them into the circle and we embrace them. And we nurture them, we support them, we guide them together.
You are talking about togetherness. And when you say togetherness, that unity, moving together along in every opinion, in every circumstance, we are moving together. That's Ubuntu. Of living together, working together, bringing people together. The Ubuntu must be practiced in youth work, in whatever that we are doing. Bring everyone along to achieve what you want to achieve together. And in the process, that is development. That is the Ubuntu that we talk about. Because we are able to see it in practice. You are able to feel it. Okay? Every mission is achieved in one accord, together. That is, for me, that is Ubuntu.
When somebody does something very problematic, illegal, let's say, we take them out of society and we put them in a prison, away from everybody else, apart from the other people who have done things that are illegal. Whereas what we do when we use this is we invite people in and say, what's going on? What can we do? How can we help? What do you need?
I've learnt a lot that I need to take away, and I've always thought, do you know what? This is good. I need to be able to do this, and I'll go away and I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up more. I'm going to stop hiding myself. I say that and I don't do it. I need to stop pushing myself down, and I need to let myself back out. And just being with all of you lot, literally, I don't know what I'd do. If I didn't meet you all, I literally don't know what I would have become. I'm literally gonna go out with a happy heart, loving you all and trying my best, because I'm so grateful.
You can't mess this up. Check this out. You already won. You already won. Just by standing in the circle, you've already won. And know that we all got your back. Yeah? We're walking with you.
Yeah, I've learnt a lot already, and I've
my perspective and how I think has changed a lot since I've joined the group. Whatever situation happens, I know now that I'm in control. Something awful can happen to me, and the most important thing in my head now is how I respond to it, and then I can choose how the rest of that situation plays out.
I'm not like the person to like pour out my heart to you or tell you like what man's been through, just like that, innit? But yesterday man was going through some things and everyone came to man, started speaking to me, giving me good advice, to make me feel better now, and appreciates that a lot, innit? And that really opened my eyes to see that, fam, people care. Like, man can talk to certain people because they've been through certain things, like just like me. And I just want to say thank you to those people that came and comforted man when I was upset outside yesterday, innit?
At the age of 10, I was showed hate, anger, and violence. I decided to pick up those traits. I thought, yeah, those are the things that would help me in life. I mean, it did to an extent, but that's what I thought anyway. When I look back, it really didn't. I mean, if I didn't change my response, I wouldn't be here talking to you lot at all. Some of you lot would have never knew I existed. Then I get the news yesterday of what's happened.
Well, one woman who knows all about the enduring impact of knife and gun crime is the mother of Karim Sams. He was shot dead in Woolwich. He was just 16, and his killer hasn't been caught. The Day Edge says every new death
When I look at the reality of things, if I wasn't here, it would have been me yesterday. If I wasn't on this residential, it would have been me yesterday. If I didn't come here, I would have been out at that time with him at the same place. Now, God knows, it could have been either me or him. Now it hurts, but I'm gonna take it as a lesson. And it's gonna hurt. I think I did what I came to do. Stepped out of my comfort zone. Still gonna feel uncomfortable, but I did it.
Those conversations we've seen across the world. And it seems to me that the more we forget that that's how we solve problems, the more challenges we're going to have, and the deeper those challenges are going to be. And the more that we remember that coming together to have conversations which are meaningful, the more that we can see that we've been doing this for many, many years, many centuries. be coming together as a community to discuss and design solutions which we need and that we deserve.
So we're at a point in the 21st century where it feels like we are facing multiple global challenges. We're at a crisis point. Whether we look at environmental problems or political instability and the rise of the far right and radicalization or poverty, mental health problems, these things are stacking up.
If these trends are similar in different parts of the world, of course the responses will vary based on the culture and the context. But I think in a globalized world where it's easy to communicate and it's easy to share knowledge, I also feel hopeful and optimistic that the humanity will discover its resilience best and discover and find new innovative solutions to deal with it and share our results with each other and build upon our knowledge.
If we are going to start to heal some of the divisions that have been produced in our societies, divisions based on around faith, around ethnicity, around social class, we've got to find ways of bringing young people together in the interests of a healthy democracy, in the interests of respect and tolerance of each other. Is absolutely critical if we're not going to start having kind of battlegrounds that don't need to happen but are emerging in our immensely divided societies.
There is no collectivization going to happen unless people will meet across with the heart from different spaces, and particularly in youth work, there are actually resources are going to be less and less and less. Nobody's going to invest, so we have to come up and use every opportunity that we get, like you're coming here and then you're converting it into an opportunity for a deep dialogue is enough to keep something nourished, to light up a flame, to spark something on.
I think there's real hope if we shift the dialogue towards nurturing young people and thinking about their needs and the things that are maybe missing in their life at the moment and the support that they would respond to. And if we talk about trust and we talk about attunement, we could also talk about love and the impact that that has on a young person's life. And I think it's a really important perspective to hold on to. And I think the youth sector and youth workers at an individual level are amazing at understanding that and having that immediate reaction and connection to a young person. What we're not so good at is sometimes communicating that with confidence, and we should spend more time thinking about how we do that.
It's the moments when young people after years still come up to you and tell you you were the youth worker on that particular program. You have changed my life. I have moved on because of the program I participated in.
It's made me realize what I have in life. It's made me realize what I can do to push and hit my goals. It just made me a better person. I really enjoyed this experience, so thank you for this experience.
And I think our young people need someone to lean on, and they lean on each other, but also, let's be frank, they lean on us. And what we craft for them will be instrumental in enabling them to deliver the future that they deserve and we want.
But I'm thinking, we've been talking about that internationalism bit, which seems to be where we should be trying to focus probably the country. It's not just about what's happening in a particular country. It's actually how do we join this up together.
It's an opportunity for us to really work with young people, to give them the support to ensure that we can create the kind of transformation of that youth development landscape, so that young people, regardless of who they are, their social background, their economic background, whatever, can participate in that development process. It is about social justice.
Young people are the catalysts for change. They are the ones who will lead us into a more prosperous, a more peaceful future. When we look at the challenges we have today, they are the ones that still have the energy, that have the desire to change things and make the world a better place. So we have to work with them.
It all starts with a conversation, and that's why things like this are important, because we're having a conversation about it now and it's helping.
We're talking about a massive influx of time and energy against the challenges we face. If we are able to unleash this global force of time and attention and energy of young people at these massive challenges we are facing, you can only guess which one will stand.
The challenge is clear. In a world which is full of disconnection, young people often feel lost. We must accept the responsibility that everyone is a youth worker, that we need a paradigm shift, a shift in our thinking, and prioritize the nurturing of our young people. I promise you that will make a difference to your life, not only the life of that young person.
So despite the problems that we face globally and the size and scope of those problems, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because I meet young people daily. I have conversations with young people daily that stretch them beyond their comfort zone. And I'm looking forward to that point when, very soon, when the young people that we've been nurturing on this planet start to take over. And start to take control and start to bring their ideas, their thinking, their energy to address the challenges and problems that we're facing and lead us into a new way of operating on this planet that comes from that it takes a village mentality, comes from that Ubuntu process where we develop mutual respect and understanding for each other and move beyond the differences that we have.
You're navigating problems that you did not create. On behalf of the elders in your community, I'm apologizing one more time. Not only navigating the problems, you're creating solutions for all of us. I know what is being navigated. I'm full of gratitude.
It seems like we've forgotten the most important thing. It's time for us to remember. Our children are waiting for us. Some have given up. It's going to take you, it's going to take me, it's going to take all of us to come together, to have a meaningful, powerful, transformative conversation. And it's time to remember. It's time to reconnect and remember that the nurturing of our children is the most important thing that we can do.
you.